Buffalo Bills lost their preseason opener to the New York Giants, and this is what I have to take away from that game. Now, before I get into the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another Buffalo Bills update. But now let's get into the video. So first things first, we're just going to be talking about the stats from the game, how players looked. So Mitch Trubisky and Mike White, who are the guys competing for that QB2 competition, both had solid games. They both kind of started out on the slow side. Specifically, Mitch Trubisky on that first drive, he did not look too good. Then he bounced back as the game went on. And I'm also going to add that the offensive line really did not look that good yesterday. Specifically the starting unit, because the Giants defensive line was just dominating them on literally every single rep. Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, I don't know if he played, but I know for a fact that Brian Burns and Abdul Carter were giving the Bills some work on that offensive line. But like I was saying, Mitch Trubisky had a bad start, but he kind of bounced back. His first completion was to Joshua Palmer, I believe. Or no, his second completion was to Joshua Palmer. It was a second and long or a third and long, I forget. But he fired a pass into Josh Palmer after evading two defenders and for a nice first down and Josh Palmer's first catch as a Bill. So to see that from Mitch Trubisky and Josh Palmer. As far as Mike White, he kind of started off very slow as well, but he picked it up. As you see, he went 8 for 13 with 112 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he played a solid game, but I really don't think that there's a clear winner or a clear starter in that QB2 competition just yet. But now let's get into the running game. So Ty Johnson, when he was playing, he was looking really, really good. He had 3 carries for 26 yards, an average of 8.6 per attempt. He looked really good. He had a stiff arm running defender. He was making the right reads. He was patient. He was a patient runner. He looked good. As far as Ray Davis goes, he had 4 carries for 7 yards. He did not look too good, but his highlight came on a different kind of a play. We'll get into that in just a second. And I will admit, by the start of the second half, I really was not watching the game as much. But every time I look about the screen, I saw Frank Gore Jr. making a nice play. He had 5 carries for 21 yards, average of 4.2 a rush. And honestly, this is a guy who wasn't even really on my radar heading into the preseason. But he looked pretty solid on a couple of his runs. However, for Frank Gore Jr., on special teams, he did not really look that great. So I don't think he'll be making the team. But he looks solid as a running back. And Darrington Evans only had 2 carries for 4 yards. However, he did have a receiving touchdown later in the game from Mike White. As far as the receiving goes, Tyrell Shavers led the team for 2 catches for 70 yards. He had a 58-yard reception towards the end of the first half, the last play of the first half for the Buffalo Bills. I thought it could have been a touchdown, but he got caught up from behind. Good throw from Mitch Trubisky on that play. Got the Bills down to, I believe, the 4-yard line. And then Caden Davis, the Bills' undrafted rookie kicker, who's taking the place of Tyler Bass for right now while Tyler Bass recovers from his pelvic soreness injury. He kicked the extra point, or he kicked the field goal after that Tyrell Shavers 58-yard reception. And I didn't even realize this, but Frank Gore Jr. had 5 catches for 50 yards. Maybe that's why I thought he was looking so good. He's making a lot of big plays for the team yesterday. You'd love to see that. And KJ Hamler had a 39-yard touchdown reception from Mike White in the second half. Kind of just a busted coverage from the New York Giants. I remember that play. And it ended up being a touchdown for KJ Hamler. So, I mean, yeah, pretty nice. And Steven Gosnell has been a guy who's come in under the radar in training camp. But he's been having some solid practices. And yesterday in the game, he had 4 catches for 30 yards. So I'd like to see that from a training camp standout. And Josh Palmer had his 2 catches for 21 yards in his Bills debut, which you like to see. Christian Wilkerson had 1 catch for 20 yards. But he had probably the greatest incompletion catch I've ever seen in my life. So basically, he was kind of just draped against a defender. He made a one-handed catch, kind of just like behind the defender's back. However, he was out of bounds, so it didn't really count. But still a great catch, in my opinion, just couldn't keep his feet in bounds. And as you see right here, some guys like Reggie Gilliam, Deion Kane, and Laviska Shenault had some big receptions. Laviska Shenault also did have a 2-point conversion, which is cool to see. Darrington Evans had that receiving touchdown like I was talking about. Dawson Knox had 1 catch for 11 yards and a touchdown. It was a drag route underneath. The linebackers, the whole defense flowed one way. He went another way. He was wide open for a touchdown. I believe that was Mitchell Trubisky's touchdown. Kincaid had 1 catch for 10 yards. It was like a 3rd and 17 play or whatever like that. It wasn't a first down, but still getting a reception from Kincaid is cool. As far as fumbles go, Jacob Bayer, he is a Bills backup center. He had a really bad snap towards the end of the game, lost us the game. He's going to be cut. No, I don't care. He's getting cut. As far as the defense goes, we didn't get any interceptions. However, we came close to one. Named Michael Hoyt, when he batted the ball down from, I believe it was Jackson Dart, and Joe Andreessen made a diving play to try to intercept the ball, but unfortunately the ball hit the ground before he could get full control of the ball. And Deon Walker had a huge play where he got right past the Giants' right guard and batted a ball down from Jackson Dart, which Deon Walker, I knew he was good. I liked him coming out of the draft. I knew he was going to be a star, but he made a huge play in week number 1 of the preseason, which is really, really good to see. And Javon Solomon made a couple plays. Michael Hoyt was probably the best Bills defender yesterday, though. Super consistent, every single rep. He was getting in on the quarterback, forcing pressure, making him run a certain way. So Michael Hoyt was probably the biggest winner from yesterday's game. And as far as the defenders go, Cam Lewis had a great game. He's playing very physical, plays with such a high motor. I really like to see Cam Lewis play safety. I think that there is an argument to be made that he could be the starting safety week 1 opposite of Taylor Rapp. But that's just me, though. Jordan Hancock, the Buffalo Bills rookie cornerback safety hybrid, he had a really good game yesterday as well. He had an interception, but unfortunately it was negated by a Landon Jackson offsides penalty, which Landon Jackson, by the way, Bills 3rd round pick, did not have a good game yesterday at all. He was just not getting any pressure. And on the one play where Jordan Hancock got an interception, he was offside. So not a good game from Landon Jackson, but Jordan Hancock looked really, really good yesterday. I will say, I just want us to cut Dane Jackson. He was not good at all yesterday. Missing tackles, gave up a touchdown. Did not look good at all. Tre'Davious White had a very up and down game. There were some plays where just missing tackles. Some plays where he was just giving up easy receptions. But he did have a pass breakup, and he did have a nice tackle on the Giants' 6'5", like 280-pound tight end. So up and down game from Trey White, definitely. Matt Milano also looked really good, flying around the field basically everywhere, making a bunch of big plays. And Teron Johnson had a huge tackle on a Giants player. However, he did end up hurting his head. I believe it was a stinger and not a concussion. But after that play, he was taken out of the game. Huge hit, which you like to see, but he injured himself, so that's what you don't want to see in the preseason. And of course, Christian Benford looked fantastic at cornerback. Dorian Strong had a couple of good reps, however, he did give up a touchdown at the end of the game. I'm trying to see if there's anyone else that kind of stood out to me. Rousseau is great in run defense, like I've been seeing in training camp. That kind of translated over to the game. But other than that, that's kind of it for the defenders. And as far as the kicking goes, Caden Davis was 1 of 1 on his field goal. He's only 24 yards. Then he was 1 of 1 from extra points. However, Ray Davis actually was able to kick an extra point. I believe it was after the Dawson Knox touchdown. It actually went in. So shout out to Ray Davis. If we really need an emergency backup kicker, Ray Davis could be that guy. As far as the punting competition goes, so we know that Brad Robbins is the only punter on the Bills roster right now. However, the Buffalo Bills special teams coordinator, Chris Tabor, a couple of weeks ago at the start of training camp, was saying how he did not win the job yet. Jay Camarda is staying ready just in case there's an open roster spot for him. However, Brad Robbins played such a good game yesterday. Really don't think there's going to be a need for Jay Camarda to be coming back to Buffalo. He had 3 punts inside the 20. He had a 61-yard punt. And Brad Robbins just looked really good yesterday, time and time again. So, I mean, you have to see that from Brad Robbins. I think he'll be your starting punter this year. And as far as the kick returns and punt returns go, I thought Laviska Shenault looked pretty good. He had a 32-yard kick return. KJ Hamler was solid. Codrington was okay. Daquan Hardy was okay. But I think the big winner on the kickoff returns was Laviska Shenault yesterday. And as far as the punt returns, Brandon Codrington and Laviska Shenault each got a return. They didn't really do much with it, but it's fine. This is the point in the video where I would want to go into all 22 footage to show you guys some specific plays from the game. However, the all 22 footage is not out just yet, and I want to get this video out to you guys. So I think in the future, these game recaps will be coming out later in the week. However, I just want to get this out to you guys so you guys don't think I just forgot about the Bills game. So what we're going to be doing is just kind of just trying to make as much good as we can with what we have. So this play is the only play I'm going to be showing you guys. Specifically, I just want to point out Elijah Moore. He's in the slot with the neon shoes. So you guys will see right here on this play. Well, first of all, Elijah Moore didn't have a catch yesterday. He did not have any real meaningful impact on the game yesterday. But you see on this play, this was a dump off to Kincaid, 10 yards. Didn't do much with it, but that was that play. Now, we can't show the all 22, or I don't have the all 22 footage for you guys. Some people do have it, some people don't. I'm one of the guys that do not have it just yet. But on this play, Elijah Moore, just watch him as good as you can. He got wide open, and you really can't see it from this angle, but he got wide open. He could have had a potential 70-yard touchdown, and Mitch Trubisky just waited a second and threw that ball to Elijah Moore instead of just dumping the ball down to Kincaid on 3rd and long. However, I don't have the all 22 footage to really prove that to you guys. So if you guys don't want to take my word for it, that's fine. But I promise you guys, he was wide open. Could have had a 70-yard touchdown. But Mitch Trubisky just didn't throw him the ball. That's going to be it for the Bills and Giants preseason week 1 game recap. Unfortunate Bills loss. But we do have some good takeaways from the game still. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another Buffalo Bills update. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.